welcome to our webinar today. This is the third of our series of webinars into why franchising. The first webinar we ran was around strategy and around the franchising financial model. We ran a second webinar that we dealt with legal compliance. We looked at finding the right franchisees, and we also looked at ensuring that franchisees are getting a good return on investment and franchisors are also getting a return on investment. And so today we're looking at the use of technology for operational efficiency and also for a great customer and franchisee experience. For those of you who haven't joined our webinars before, I'm Bruce McFarlane. I'm the CEO of BDC Partners. And BDC Partners, we help franchisors to grow. BDC, we've got 5 different businesses in our group. So we've got BDC Property, where we help find sites, BDC Recruitment, where we help find franchisees, BDC Strategy, where we help set up franchise systems and help mentor franchisors along that journey, BDC Performance, where we help find people to work in franchise systems, as well as providing some tools to help survey franchise networks, and we've got BDC Law. We're fortunate to be part of a great group in which we brand BDC Collective. And in BDC Collective, we're partnering with people that share our values to assist franchisors. So we've got BlueRock as part of that. BlueRock provide BlueRock Accounting, BlueRock Finance, and BlueRock Digital, where Adam's from. We've got BF Brokers that help sell franchise businesses. We have Gap Maps, which they provide location intelligence. Associated Projects, they provide fit outs for franchisors and franchisees. Benjamin and Benjamin provide insurance, and we have the Save Group, which provide HR solutions. We're also fortunate to have some amazing partners as part of this webinar series. So we've got Spotlight Reporting, and Spotlight were involved in our first webinar, and we've got Docio and Ops Central, who you're going to hear from today. So today, as I mentioned, we've got BlueRock Digital, Ops Central, and Docio that'll be part of it. We've got a fantastic panel, and they're all going to talk a little bit about their businesses and a little bit about themselves on the way through. But Adam is Associate Director at BlueRock Digital. Alexandra is a Senior Marketing Manager at Ops Central, and Brent is a COO at Docio. So we'll hear from each of those today. Just one little bit of housekeeping. So if you do have questions on the way through, I'd love to hear from them. If you can put them in Q&A, so I'll see them on the way. If the panelists don't see them, I'll ask those questions on your behalf as well. So feel free to ask questions. Of course, you've seen we are recording this, so we will send you a copy of the presentation afterwards. So if you do have to switch off or you aren't able to stay for the whole session, you will get the recorded version of that as well. And you can also see the other 2 webinars that we've run as part of the recorded series. So I'm going to hand over to Adam. Welcome, Adam.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Bruce. And thanks, BDC Partners. And good morning, everyone on the webinar this morning. I'm really happy to be here. My name's Adam, and I work for BlueRock, as Bruce said, and BlueRock Digital Arm, which is of the multifaceted business consultancy BlueRock in Melbourne. And BlueRock houses over about 400 professionals across accounting, law, finance, digital, insurance, R&D grants, and many other service areas, making us pretty much a one-stop shop for all business consulting needs. My background is heavily weighted to e-commerce and digital platform solutions, having used them for over 20 years. And I'm really pleased to be able to share some of these platforms with you today. Some you'll currently use, and some may be new to your tech stack for back-of-house business operations. BlueRock Digital is a systems integration expert and can assist with any native or custom integrations that you may require, making things easier, faster, and smarter for your growing franchise. So we'll get into it. We'll jump over to the first slide.
Can you see that one, mate, with the introduction? Here we go.
Let me jump in. Yeah, we can start there, no worries. So as franchisees, your success depends on efficient processes and timely insights. Back-of-house systems are the backbone of your operation, supporting your growth and profitability. Today, we'll explore how integrated solutions can empower you to excel in your franchise journey. And these will include CRM or customer relationship management platforms, e-commerce platforms for retail, point of sale solutions, inventory management solutions, BI or business intelligence reporting, and cloud accounting platforms. We'll kick things off with the most important, which is customer relationship management. HubSpot. So HubSpot, your customers are the heartbeat of your franchise, and HubSpot CRM helps you organize, track, and engage with your leads and customers effectively. Automation simplifies sales and marketing and allows you to focus on building strong customer relationships. HubSpot has native integration with other platforms and ensures seamless data flow across your franchise operations. And HubSpot also has multiple hubs across marketing, sales, customer service, CMS or content management, and operations. The base version is freemium and is a great central place to hold all things customer. You don't need to start everything off at once, and you can also add on hubs as you grow. BlueRock has around 400 employees and services around 10,000 businesses, and we use HubSpot as our central CRM across multiple hubs. We'll jump to the next slide.
So just on that, mate, so, and just sort of a general thing. So obviously CRMs generally are important for both the franchisees and the franchisors. So HubSpot can allow for different, so a franchisor can use something like HubSpot, and then their franchisees can use it for their customer acquisition process as well. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So you'll either have B2B customers if you're a franchisee-franchisor relationship, but also D2C, direct to consumer. You can house both of those within the one database within HubSpot, and you can tag out appropriately. So you can slice and dice your data or your customer data to have it all in one centralized location. Where things get messy is when different locations have different data sets, and if you're the franchisor, you want to have complete control and you want to have complete visibility over what the entire business is doing at any given time. So always start off on the right foot and centralize it in one. And if you explain that across all of your franchisees in the first instance, it'll save awkward conversations later on down the track.
And I think when you're setting up a franchise system, if you can, as Adam mentioned, there's a free version of HubSpot. So understanding the technology, whether it be HubSpot or be something else, understanding, the need for the CRM, and then getting a system in place quite early in the journey is important and helpful. So when you're trying to roll it in later, I was at BlueRock, and when we implemented HubSpot, and it takes a little while to get people across it once you've got a fair few people already using something else.
Absolutely. Yeah, there needs to be a CRM champion within the business to champion the product and get everybody on board. But once you've eaten the pain, it's very seamless and easy moving forward.
Yep. Cool. Shopify.
So next we have e-commerce. So whether you're selling products or memberships or services or a blend of both, Shopify Plus is a great solution. In the competitive world of e-commerce, the robust e-commerce solution is crucial. Shopify Plus offers customizable storefronts, secure payment gateways, and streamlined inventory management. Integrated with your back-of-house systems, it centralizes order and inventory management. This integration increases operational efficiency, freeing up time to enhance your customer experience, which is where you want to spend most of your time.
Cool. We had a question, it's looping back, but I think it actually applies with Shopify as well. But with HubSpot, can you integrate it with other systems, other platforms? And I think, so the general answer is yes, but it's depends on the system. It depends on the platform and what that platform has.
Correct. Yeah. Shopify, Xero, HubSpot have many native integrations. But not all platforms will integrate with each other. They're all built on different platforms and different frameworks. So some are easier to integrate than others. But we can also, work with middleware and have custom integration. It is a little bit more timely and a little bit more expensive. But if it is a platform that is foundational to your business that you've used for a long time, many times we'll be able to sort of point you in the right direction of like a new and improved platform that might do things a little bit more efficiently. But in the interim, we can always work to validate connecting two platforms together if they don't have a native integration already.
Cool. Inventory management.
Awesome. Just before I get to inventory management, so I don't have a slide for every single platform, but we can stay here. That's totally fine. But what we'll do, tightly linked to e-commerce and retail, is obviously point of sale or POS. So there's many POS options out there. A robust option is Lightspeed, which is formerly Vend, which is a great option whether you're in the retail or hospo industry. POS obviously efficiently manage your point of sale operations, streamline transactions, accept multiple payment options, and improve checkout experiences for your customers. Native integrations with other systems ensures sale data and it syncs seamlessly with your inventory and financial records. So making things a little bit more streamlined for back of house. And Lightspeed POS empowers you to deliver your exceptional customer service and gain real-time sales insights also across multiple retail locations. So as you grow, it's important to have that 44,000 foot view over all the data and all the payments coming in.
Cool.
Okay, jumping to Sin7 Core, so inventory management. So if you're a bigger business or a little bit more sophisticated, and it might be somewhere of the likes of the industrial sector, if you need a more sophisticated solution for inventory management, whether you have high level of SKUs or customized build of materials, you might need an IMS that's more suited to those verticals. Sin7 Core it formerly was called DIA. It's an effective inventory management platform which will assist in meeting customer demands promptly. Sin7 Core also provides real-time visibility into your stock levels across multiple locations. Automating inventory tracking optimizes stock levels and also reduces stock outs or overstocking, which is a big problem between sort of physical location and warehouse or 3PL. Also has many native integrations and inventory data flow can flow seamlessly between those different platforms as you build your back of house tech stack. Yeah.
So most of so these integrate. So if everyone's on Xero, we're integrating our HubSpots, Shopify. These are all. Is that so we can financially get a pretty good run? Look at
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're housing things. So database would be housed centrally. Inventory would be housed centrally. Xero accounting, and then you would have even POS. So obviously having the retail ecosystem and making sure that everything data is flowing between each of these platforms seamlessly, and you can get the insights that you need at the click of a button rather than having them siloed in different locations.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. So we'll jump to the next slide. So Power BI. So franchise success requires data-driven decision-making, as everyone knows, especially as you scale and grow. And you'll need a robust reporting system. There are light versions of reporting systems within different, so Xero has a lighter reporting system for business operations, but Power BI is basically your 44,000 foot view into your business at any given time, day by day, month by month, year over year. Power BI transfers data into interactive visualizations and reports, which gives you your business intel at a glance, if you like. It integrates with multiple sources and offers comprehensive insights into your franchise's performance and also trends, which can give you insights into issues before they become a problem. There might be something sort of lurking in the background and all of a sudden, things start to fall over, but that's what these business intelligence programs look to do. They also utilize a level of artificial intelligence, being able to prompt you for certain things or daily or monthly or yearly tasks.
Cool. So we use Power BI. When I was at BlueRock, we used Power BI, and we also use Spotlight reporting. So Spotlight reporting were part of our first webinar, and so they give a great insight into all the different divisions. They're running separate P&Ls that integrates with Xero. But the thing with Spotlight, which gives people that are not necessarily accountants a pretty good look, and then combined with Power BI tools, the intelligence. So, it's something that you can run, to get a really good understanding of the financial aspects of your business. And you think about your franchisees, and often financial aspects of the business is not their core strength. They're very good at possibly sales or products or other areas. And so using things like Spotlight and Power BI really help them to understand their financial position and help you as a franchisor to really make sure that you can help them drive performance by, using the benchmarking tools that flow across these different platforms.
Great. Excellent. All righty, jump into the next slide and we'll finish up. So just before we do finish up, so obviously a lot of people use a cloud accounting platform, and Xero is one of the most popular out there, but you might be on MyOb or QuickBooks. QuickBooks is probably the most used, and definitely the most used in the United States. But off the back of Power BI, sound financial management is the foundation of a successful franchise. Xero simplifies financial processes, expense tracking and reporting. It has native integrations, again, many, and probably more than a lot of other platforms out there, which you can sync financial data automatically, reducing manual efforts and ensuring accuracy, especially across multi-site businesses. Real-time visibility into your financial health, enabling better financial decision-making, also makes business consulting very easy at the click of a button. For example, BlueRock's accounting division could dive into your business health and assist with providing direction for stability or growth, depending on whatever the business needs at any given time. Alrighty, so in conclusion, I think everyone's starting to realize we need to embrace seamless back-of-house systems to elevate your franchise success. Integrated solutions support your day-to-day operations and decision-making. Focus on delivering outstanding experiences for your customers and also growing your franchise. Technology is your ally, it's not your enemy, and helps you stay ahead in your market and achieve your business goals. Great, so I want to thank everyone for joining the webinar today. Also worth noting, this Thursday at BlueRock, we're hosting a connected digital ecosystems event at the Rialto starting at 3 p.m. Anyone watching this in all perpetuity, that's the 10th of August, 2023, and which everyone's welcome to attend. Please reach out to myself at adam.henwood@thebluerock.com if you'd like to attend. It's a totally free event. We've got some really great guests and great panels. And finally, feel free to reach out with any questions or any further information. Let BlueRock Digital empower your franchise with seamless back-of-house systems, and let's grow together. I will pass it back to Bruce and Alexandra from Ops Central.
Thanks, mate. There are a few people on the call that are actually in Melbourne at the moment. So if they're looking to head into the Rialto on Thursday, you'll get a lot more detail and some more information about some different systems. So jump on board. I think what you've demonstrated, franchising is about two things. It's about brand and it's about system, and making sure that you have the best possible versions of your system that all integrate with each other and all talk to each other, allows you to provide better services and better things for your franchisees. So thank you very much. I'll now go across to you, Alexandra. So Ops Central, we're also looking to improve efficiency for your franchisors. So tell us a little bit more about Ops Central.
Thanks, Bruce. Hello, everyone. So that was a great segue from Adam. Obviously, with Ops Central, we are a tech business. So using tech to increase your operational efficiency is at the core of everything that we do here. So it's actually a very good segue into my presentation. So a bit about us, if you don't know, we are an AI-powered global software platform, and we help businesses manage every aspect of their operational consistency in their daily operations in their business. So we specialize in housing SOPs, training, audits, comms, incident reporting for franchise and multi-site. We're used in 37 countries, and we've got a lot of big brands on our books, which we're very sort of lucky to have. And we get to sort of see everything they do that's best practice in their industries. Thanks, Bruce. A bit about me, I suppose this was a bit of a struggle to write because I hate being the person that's like gloating, but I think it's important to put a bit about my background so you understand my perspective and where I'm coming from. So as Bruce mentioned, I'm the Senior Marketing Manager at Ops Central. My career, I've worked in marketing across quite a few different industries, automotive, recruitment, retail, NFP and legal. So I feel like I have a pretty broad view on the marketing world. And I've also worked as a key team member across quite a few digital transformation projects, both in Australia and globally. And I've been involved in app creation, website integrations, IT systems, the whole lot. So I feel like I have a good, well-rounded approach to tech at this point.
You've had to deal with lawyers, so yeah, in legal, good luck with that.
One thing about lawyers is you just got to let them talk and you've got to be good at listening. Right, Bruce?
Not necessarily early adopters of technology, in my experience.
No, exactly right. So operational consistency, this is a slide, I suppose if you ever see me speak, there will be a slide like this in my presentation, and it's probably seems a bit ironic given the title of this webinar, but it is at the core of everything we do, and it's really important to your business, especially being franchise and multi-site, that customers can have the exact same experience. They can walk into any one of your stores or your operations and feel as though they're getting the same level of service, the same quality of product. And ensuring this is how a business is actually able to scale and grow and succeed. So there's a whole different range of levers that we can pull to achieve that operational consistency, and tech is one of the really big parts of this. So it's about having that continuous operational consistency. So this is a little wheel that you'll see go around. So it's about defining your standards. So if you're at a stage in your business where you are perhaps looking to franchise, you haven't actually yet taken that step, it's important to ensure that you've defined those standards. So whether you've got that in a document or a PDF or however that is, having a formal document with your SOPs, your policies and your best practice standards. And then from there, your next step is ensuring your team understands that across all of the sites. So we want to make sure that your team members understand the content, but also that they can go back to it and access it at any time if they need to brush up. This also helps with the people engagement piece. It's about understanding where your teams are at, what training they might need at any given time, and making sure they feel engaged in your business as well. And then from that, continuing the auditing process, because it's all very well for people to say they've understood and are living and breathing your brand every day, but we need to be able to track that and make sure in real time, if your head office is based in Melbourne, but you have an operation in Perth, that's probably not a business you're going out to see every week. So making sure that you've got available tools in your toolkit, and tech is a really great one of those to track that auditing and that quality control throughout your operation. And then lastly, measuring and optimizing. So as Adam mentioned, data is really crucial, and having the means to be able to get that data, analyze it, and then work out how to optimize and grow from there is really important. So why does it matter? So I've mentioned a couple of times just then, it's all about that operational consistency. You're probably going to be sick of me saying that by the end of this, but it's also about reducing the risk of errors, and compliance is obviously a really sort of, it's a boring thing to say, but it's really important. It's not just about engagement and buy-in and success. It's also about ensuring you are compliant. Obviously food safety, if you were a food business, for example, physical safety, if you were a gym, for example, it's obviously really important, and keeping a strong record of that compliance as well. So touch wood, if anything were to happen, you've actually got that there to sort of show you did everything in your power to avoid any incidents.
The compliance stuff is obviously looping back to lawyers, but in franchising, if you haven't been in the franchising world, you're probably dealing with compliance. If it is a food business, you've got food safety or other things. But obviously, with the franchising code of conduct, you've got this level of compliance that goes beyond what's expected in other types of businesses. And so, when you get that email or phone call from the ACCC to say, just want to make sure that you're up to date with all of your compliance, having something like this, you can track all this, I think, in Ops Central. So, not only the food safety, but you can have your legal compliance in there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of our policies are really fantastic because I mean, I'm always going to say that, aren't I? Because I'm working for Up Central, but they're really easy to be accessed at any one time. You know, you're not lumping a team member with a 40-page kind of Bible to refer to. If they're wanting to know how to store raw fish, they can just jump on at any time and access that, whether it's through a search function or just a simple click. So that always helps too.
But also the other thing is around disputes. So unfortunately, you know, as the economy slows down a little bit at the moment, we're finding in our legal practice that there's a lot more disputes on at the moment. So whether that be franchisors ensuring that their franchisees are compliant, which is not always the case, or franchisees just not happy with what's going on with the franchise generally, you know, there's disputes that arise. And for a franchisor, having clarity around what compliance measures your franchisee's done, what have they attended, where are they up to? Because often a dispute just is because the relationship's broken down, but they haven't actually done what they said they were going to do. So is that something that, you know, that you're finding that the platform is used in disputes between franchisees and franchisors?
I suppose I'd say it's not one of the kind of key uses that we see, but I think where we do see its benefit is sort of arming you with knowledge. So as you said, if you've got a franchisee that's having issues, you know, you're able to go into the platform perhaps before you have a meeting with them and have a look at, okay, well, what training have they attended? When did they last read the content? How many of their employees have, you know, reviewed that within 12 months? How many audits have they completed that were not up to scratch? So you're able to go into that meeting with all of the facts, as opposed to just a gut feeling that what they're doing is not quite right, which is usually how it starts. You're able then to actually back that up with facts, and it's a lot harder to argue with facts.
Yeah, no, that's right. Well, I think that's right. You know, if it is a dispute, making sure that you've got all your facts in order is pretty important. And so having the platform. So
absolutely. And then I guess just going full circle, these were a couple of stats that I kind of had a look at in my research in terms of how tech is being used at the moment. And I suppose they're not really unsurprising stats, but 85% of business owners report tech platforms helped get their business up and running. 94% report tech helps them run their business more efficiently, and 63% plan to use the most advanced tech, so from AI to VR. And I did actually find that last stat surprising. So I feel like 63% is far beyond what an early adopter percentage would normally be. But it's just indicative of where the market is at. And I suppose it's a really good reminder, if you're not using even the most basic of tech, some of those platforms that Adam touched on earlier in your business, then, you know, there's no better time than now, because if you've got 63% of the market looking to then move to things like AI and VR, which is still, you know, sort of in their infancy, just starting to kind of infiltrate the market, then it's super important to make sure you've got those basic systems set up. And I guess I put that, so what does this mean for your business? Half rhetorical, half answered by me just then. But I think if you can take anything away from today, it would be, you know, what does this mean for your business in a positive way? And how can you reduce the time that you're putting in? So instead of, you know, having to resend a policy every time, you know, you're making an update to it, what tweaks can you make to use that efficiency to your advantage? And I guess the last point I just want to touch on about AI, because obviously it's in everyone's mouths at the moment. It's the buzzword. And I suppose we've got some AI tools and we've sort of doubled in it with our platform at the moment. And the best example that Josh, our CEO, actually used at a conference earlier this year was about the sewing machine. When the sewing machine first came out, no doubt there would have been a whole bunch of people freaking out. They would have lost their jobs, and they're the one hand stitching everything. And as we know now from how the sewing machine's used every day, it's actually just means that those seamstresses or tailors can actually produce, you know, whatever the stat is, double the amount of tailoring. And it's that time that they're able to save with the implementation of something like the sewing machine means they can grow their business even quicker. So that is the best parallel that I can draw with AI, that it is there to make up for time in your business so that you can appropriately apply that time to other areas.
Yeah, I saw that at the franchising conference. I think the thing about using even the platform without the AI is lots of businesses when they start out, lots of things are manual, and so it just takes everyone more time, and they don't get the consistency you talk about. And so franchising is really, really important. If in your own business, if you're not a franchise business, I know you have non-franchising clients using the platform to help them. But once you do franchise, you're dealing with new franchisees, so you're helping them through that induction process, and you want to make sure that that's a consistent approach all the way through. But it's really during the life of your franchise, your business is going to evolve all the time. And so whether it be new items on your menu, new services, the way you deliver the services, all of those things that you're evolving and adapting all the time. And so to be able to communicate effectively with your franchisees through this, through a platform is just vital, because otherwise you're spending your whole time, running around trying to train everyone. And the bigger you get, the harder it gets to do that. So
yeah. That's the beauty of tech too. It just connects people. Doesn't matter where you are, you're all able to log into, whether it's Facebook or whatever tech platform, and feel connected to something.
Yeah. And it's going to, it was interesting at that FCA conference how there was a lot of talk about how AI can, and people get both scared of it and excited by it. And it's, how can you adapt your business using AI? And I think, if you've got the base of the right technology used already, AI is just an enhancer, and it just adds to it what you've got. So, I'm sure everyone's having a bit of a look at AI in terms of marketing in your role, Ali.
Yes, absolutely. I think there's definitely still the need for the human element, that's for sure. Some of the horrifically morphed AI generated images I've seen, they're still not great. There's hands with 20 fingers on one, and there's still a way to go from that point of view, I think.
That's right. Well, thank you very much. If anyone's got any questions, throw them into the chat. We can loop back. We'll just cut Brent off, go back to Ali if we need to, but that's okay. Thank you very much. So Brent, talking about marketing, tell us about consistency in marketing, and how can Docio help?
Absolutely. Thanks, Bruce. And thank you to everyone for joining in today. So first up, a little bit about Docio and why Docio exists. Essentially, we're here to make the hard simple. So when it comes to enabling delivery of creation of content at scale throughout distributed networks, and we're really talking about the artwork here, that part of the business. So all the ops are taken care of. You've got some great systems, all the back end that was talked about earlier on. We've got our processes, our policies sorted. Now what happens when we get to market? So Docio was conceived because clients had consistently expressed frustration to us of tight timeframes, low budgets, and the time it took to get simple design changes needed by everyone turned around. So the challenge clients faced was wanting to be agile while still protecting the quality of the content outputs that the teams across the organization were producing. So they essentially had a content creation at scale problem. Now, how Docio helps? Before I go through this in a little bit, I'll just say that before I started at Docio many, many years ago, I actually was a client, and that's how I first discovered Docio. I worked at a large company who was going through a national rebrand. We also owned a license of a billion-dollar brand in Australia, and I had a team of 4 graphic designers working in-house who were constantly working till all hours of the night to make everyone happy and make sure everything was correct. And I implemented Docio to help reduce our workload, but also to empower everyone within the business to do things, and for us to be able to relax at the end of the day and know that the things were on brand, that they were correct. So how Docio helps. Every one of our clients gets their own Docio platform, and clients provide their teams, distributed networks, access to a controlled environment where they can customize local area marketing, anything that's released through social media, anything produced by graphic design, marketing agencies, and self-service those requirements themselves. So some of the people we work with, I've put those logos on screen, different industries, different scales, but essentially we have head office, who are controlling everything. And then they have a distributed network, whether it be car dealers, sales teams, support centers, who need to produce content on a daily basis, either for themselves or from a campaign level. So it's a visual platform. It's very easy to manage, to organize all the brand assets that people need. Permissions can be set. Everything's sort of stored in one place. Templates are adaptable. There are many different levels of control that can be implemented, or freedom, and it's quite simple to use. The Docio, we believe, is easy for franchisors to set up, to deploy and maintain, and the interface is really simple for franchisees, whether they've used the system for a long time or whether they're just starting. With automation enhancing efficiency, both franchisor and franchisees can devote more time to nurturing relationships, maintaining connections, and running the business. Essentially, we provide design automation. And so without a design automation local area marketing toolkit to empower or control your brand, franchise network can go from your biggest opportunity to your biggest liability, and very quickly. So why is this important? Whether you're got an established brand or you're just starting, your brand is key. When it comes to franchisees, they're going to be buying into your brand. That's part of their decision-making process. And we know that customers respond to a strong brand. So at all costs, you really want to protect that brand. Soon as the brand gets diluted, soon as it gets damaged, it can sometimes happen from the best intentions, from the most well-intended people who are just trying to grow their business or put an offer into market and try and do something, but they don't have the tools or they don't have the knowledge to be able to do those things. So really what you want to be able to do with whatever system you have is to give your franchisees the right tools so that they can be the champion of your brand. Another reason to consider design automation is to make sure that you don't become a bottleneck. Your franchisees need to rely on you for all sorts of things. And the more times they come to you to ask questions, the more time you lose. And so if we can simplify and remove those sort of everyday tasks, then you can get on with what you need to do and they can get on with what they need to do. We know from talking to other clients that when you don't have a system in place, franchisees will grow tired of waiting, whether they have to wait for marketing resources or have to wait for to be allocated more budget or to get more sales or whatever it is. They will end up going off script. And then that can be where you can lose control over the message, the visual message or the actual message and the offers that they're putting out into market. You'll also lose control and visibility over what your franchisees are doing. And then that comes back again to possibly impacting your brand. Compliance, those small things can lead to big consequences. A small error in a disclaimer from somebody who's running their franchise and accidentally makes a mistake with something in a disclaimer or terms and conditions, putting the name wrong, forgetting to put an AU at the end of a URL or something like that, can have big ramifications. So providing franchisees with lockdown content or providing them with a tool where they don't have to think about all of those disclaimers and localization is really important for growth.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I can't talk that quick, Bruce. So
give me the wind up, mate. No, plenty of time joking.
So again, design automation, great thing about it is that you can provide franchisees with the illusion of choice. So they're busy. Some of them perhaps want to be marketers. Some of them want to be creative. Some of them want to set their own offers in place. So giving them the ability to create within certain parameters and make them feel as if they're being creative and make them feel as if they're making an impact and having a say over what they're doing, but at the same time protecting the brand is quite important. It's allowing them to self-serve, but with guardrails on. So don't tell the franchises what they have to do, enable them to do what they need to do. Localization, obviously with franchisees, you have them scattered across the country, hopefully one day, and allowing that artwork to be automatically localized streamlines what they're trying to do. They don't have to think about putting in the suburb, or perhaps a national campaign goes out and it's using a certain photo, but that photo wouldn't resonate in their local community. Or perhaps they want to reach out and sponsor a local event. Enabling them to localize artwork and engage with their community is going to benefit the brand, is going to benefit the overall franchise as well. And lastly, scale. Scale's been mentioned a little bit already. You want to scale your business, you want to grow it. You need tools that are easy to adapt and easy to pick up and learn. And no matter how many franchisees you add in, that it's not creating more work for yourself. So essentially find a tool that makes onboarding franchisees quick and simple. So in summary, you need a tool in your franchise toolkit that will be easy for you to control and empower your franchisees to self-serve. Be quick and simple for your franchisees to use. Ensure that your franchisees stay on brand and on message. A toolkit that allows your brand and marketing strategy to be easily implemented. You don't want to spend all this time and money on marketing strategies and your brand and all these wonderful things, and then watch them slowly get watered down over time. So you want to remove the reliance on you to be able to provide you with complete oversight on what your franchise are doing. And one that, last point, allows you to relax with the knowledge that franchisees are self-sufficient and compliant.
I think it's really important that, franchising is about two things. It's about brand and it's about systems. And so otherwise, if someone was going to open a business with you as a franchisee, they need to make sure that there's both of those things and are really efficient, are really done really well. And the brand is vital. So you're building, your job as a franchisor is to really build that brand, and you want to make sure that your franchisees can do it easily and not stuff it up because they've gone out into the sponsor of the local footy club and just use something that's not on brand and produced a sign or some marketing materials or whatever else, and they think they're doing the right thing, but it's actually damaging your brand. So this franchisees are generally not experts in marketing, but they have to become very proficient in it because they've got to build their own business up in the local community. And so ensuring that they've got the right tools to make their life easier is really important. I think you had before, Brent, that some of the clients you'd work with a massive franchisors, but I know that you also work with emerging and startup franchisors because getting these things in place early makes it a lot easier later on. So have you got some examples of where you've worked with an emerging franchisor and how they've gone about this process?
Yeah. Well, I think on one hand, yes, some of our clients are quite large, and some of our clients are very large brands, but they're actually not massive use cases either.
Okay.
So when the clients come on board, and a bit like the point that was made earlier, trying to get the systems in place early on certainly makes life easier. Jumping on board after you've got all of your franchisees have already gone off script, and then trying to bring them back in is harder. It's not unattainable, but it's a little harder. So when it comes to those emerging franchises, we always start small. There's a few templates that go on. They might only have 2 franchisees in place, but they're getting trained early on about the right way to do things. And then it's also the franchisors will use that as a bit of a test and learn to find out what it is that franchisees want to be able to do once they're coming on board. So in the early days, it's fantastic because it's giving the franchisor lots of visibility and lots of engagement about what actually a franchisee needs to do and what they want to be able to do. And that enables then sort of more templates, more automation to be built into the system to future-proof it.
Cool. Hopefully you can't hear my dog trying to get into my room, which is always fun. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm just going to jump to one last slide, which is, oops.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to Brent, and thank you. Next time, what we're doing is our 4th webinar in the series. And as you'd appreciate, it's about people is a really important part of any franchise system, both the people within your team at head office and also the people within your franchise network. So fortunate to have Jane Save from the Save Group and the CEO of BDC Performance, John Cooksey, who are presenting our next webinar. Thank you, everyone, for participating today. Thanks for joining the webinar. If you're watching this later on, thank you also. Thanks to our presenters, to Brent, to Alexandra, and to Adam. So thanks for joining us today. Well done. Thanks a lot. And all your prep, it was very well done. Thank you to our partners, to Docio, to Op Central, and to Spotlight Reporting for allowing us to be able to run this series. Look forward to seeing you. As I mentioned, we'll send out a link to this, to the PowerPoint, so you get to see the PowerPoint presentation. If you want some more information, you've got the details of all of our presenters. Thank you very much.